Fancy.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Hello. We are live. I'm so excited to be here. So, welcome to Jacqueline Valdez Live. I'm Jacqueline Valdez, and we are so excited for our guest, Miss Nicole, the pole, Miss Nicole Williams,
Hey,
my soul sister, Virgo sister,
that's
dear
right.
friend, and just my first guest back and our second season, which I'm really excited about. We're starting with a bang.
Bang. That's what I would
Bang,
frame
baby.
this year for me too. Bang.
Exactly. Exactly. So I love that we have so much to talk about. So just to go into a couple things, you have just had such a wonderful journey. We have had previous conversations before, and we have bonded over past experiences and have been through some stuff. And so you've had quite a journey the last couple years. You've totally followed your passion. You've overcome some stuff. You've manifested lots of amazing things, and you have just been yeah, doing some amazing stuff and going on tour with Snoop Dogg and choreographing for Beyonce
Yes.
and just following your dream. So
Right.
tell us about your journey and tell us about like the trials and tribulations and stuff that you've been through the last couple of years.
Oh
There's
my
so much
goodness.
to share.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. It's actually, let's go back about 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. That was the that was the shit show years. But learned that those were actually the good years, okay? Because those years I learned so much. I let go of a lot of judgment that I was holding on to. I went through experiences that I thought I couldn't go through, like not me, like I'm too good of a person to go through these things. I'm spiritual. I've been doing the work, so like those type of things shouldn't happen to me. I went through stuff like that, and coming out of that, realizing like it don't matter how good of a person you are, it doesn't matter how much work you do, you're just still gonna go through stuff. Still gonna go
I
through stuff.
I love that you say that too, because a lot of people get stuck in that mind frame of why me, and I don't deserve this, and
Yep.
why is someone else getting rewarded and I'm not, and I'm working so hard. How did you find that spot to get out of that mind frame and be like, okay, like I'm changing it around. I'm changing the wording I give to myself. I'm changing the wording I give to the universe.
So what I was dealing with is I had just closed my dance studio at the end of 2016. I was going through a depression and didn't know it. Didn't think that was possible for me. So it took a long time to kind of realize it and to actually even acknowledge it and say it, because I'm a words person. So for me to say I'm depressed, to me that was affirming it more, right? I was like, I don't want to say I'm depressed because then I'm saying I'm depressed. So
It's
for me, it was
crazy that there's like such a stigma to say that
like,
you're depressed, and it's
yeah.
so hard for people to
I had a
accept.
I had a lot of stuff around that. I grew up with my mother being depressed, so I was like, I can't be that. No, not me.
Yeah.
Um, but what I'll say this, the what helped me get through it the most at like towards the end was accepting it. Acceptance of what it is that you are going through is the thing that helps you get through that thing faster. So
Right.
accepting it and then continuing to do the work even though I was in it. So like even though I was depressed, I was still doing like self-development programs. Like I was still going in and trying to figure it out. Figure
Yeah.
it out. Also what I learned during that time was to ask for support. I was not big on asking anybody for anything, especially telling anybody anything that was opposite of who I saw myself was, and how opposite of how I felt people saw me. So for me to be going through something difficult like depression and then using drugs to try to get through that depression, money was funny. Money was not coming in the way I was accustomed to, like when I had my dance studio. So
Yeah.
those three things, which the money is tied into the depression, like when you lose money, when you lose your security,
Yeah.
that can create a depression. So I was dealing with that.
Wow.
And then using drugs to stimulate myself to get up out of that situation, to feel better, to not feel what I was feeling. And that was just extra, just more shit on top of shit.
Well, and the crazy part is that you would not know that you were having troubles.
You would not
From the
know.
outside looking
Yep.
in, you would think that you're doing fine, you're successful, did Rihanna's video, you have been doing really well. But, even the most successful people that society thinks goes through struggles and goes through
Yes.
hard judgment on themselves.
Yes. That's the other thing. The judgment about it kept me in it longer.
Yeah.
Like I said, but what I had to do was accept what I was going through
Yeah.
and then see the gift in it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if anything were to come upon me now, because I've gone through those experiences recently, and like I really get like things are going to happen still in my life, no matter how great of a person I am, no matter how much good I put out, things
Right.
are going to happen that's going to shake shit up. So like I really, really know that now. So if something were else were to happen, I can be like, you know what? This is what it is. I can be in full acceptance of the thing, knowing that there's a gift here on the other side. I'm gonna be able to help other people going through this thing. Like that was what I had to do. Like the going through depression thing. I was like, as a coach years ago, I said I wanted to help millions of people. I wanted to help millions of people, right? And I
Yeah.
remember one day I'm high and I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, like I can't believe I'm going, but I'm high. And I'm like, I said I wanted to help millions of people. And I was like, wow, millions of people are going through this.
Yeah.
Millions of people are going through depression. Millions of people are getting high or using some type of vice to get
Yeah.
through that thing. And I said, I always thought I could just tell somebody, you just need to say your affirmations. You just need to do this. You just need to do that. And you'll be done with whatever that thing, right? Man, I was saying all the affirmations still. I was still in my stuff. I was doing all the things that I thought I was supposed to do, and I still couldn't find my way up and out or see the light. And I was like, oh, it's not as easy as just do that thing. Like I even had a friend, a very good friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
who I stopped being friends with this person. Like I ended our relationship because he was the person that I was, which was, you just got to do this. You just need to, pull yourself up out. You need to get up and get out. And I was just like, yo, that's not helping right now. And that's not working. Like, it's not. Like, I can't see my light right now. I can't get up off the couch right now. I can't do the things that I used to be able to do with such ease. Like depression is like an invisible cage around you. Nobody can see it. Nobody gets it. I didn't even get it. Like why? Like I lost my fire. And to lose my fire, the thing that gets me excited, to lose that.
Yeah. Letting your light kind of dim.
That it's almost like feeling like I didn't have my soul almost. That was scary. That was the scariest thing about being in the depression, because I was like, when is it going to end? Because I couldn't see the end. It didn't feel like it was going to detach itself, because I was in this thing every day. It's one thing to be sad for like a couple days, maybe a week, but every day, and then every day, now it's a year. And now you're going into the second year, and I'm still feeling this way. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
and it seems like sometimes when people are telling you, just do your affirmations, just say what you need to say,
yeah.
over it, you're like, is this toxic? I think this is almost like not really very helpful. Hello, Natalie. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, guys. Thank you for popping in.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. And what I had to do was I had to start telling people what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
That was the biggest helper for going through what I was going through. And I would say for anybody that's going through depression, or if you're dealing with a vice that has a hold with you, dealing with addiction, drugs and that stuff, you got to tell some people. And not only just telling any and everybody, but telling people who will hold you accountable to what it is you say you want to get to go through, or, where you're trying to be. And because those people can check on you.
Yeah.
And not check on you, trying to tell you what to do and trying to force you into doing things that you don't want to do, but check on you. Like I needed love.
Yeah.
I needed love that I didn't know how to ask for. I needed somebody to just check on me and see it, make sure I'm okay. Yeah. Even somebody to tell, you know what, I said I was going to stop, but I did it again. Yeah. Just being able to do that with somebody and them still being like, it's okay.
And love you where you're at and not try to be something that you're not.
And what's crazy is the way I needed people to be for me was the very way that I would be for anybody else, but I wasn't being that to myself.
Of course. I feel like everyone is like the hardest judge and puts so much expectation, especially having a dance studio that you had. And then you were expected, oh, everyone expects this level from me. And,
but it's not even that. Nobody is expecting anything. That is the thought in our own minds that we project out. So it's the projecting
Yeah.
of how I see myself, how I think other people see me, and then I'm projecting that outward thinking. People care. Like people are like, who? Oh my God, people are not going to want to come to me as a coach if they know that I've done drugs, if I'm depressed. Like that was all my shit. That was literally all of mine, because every time I would tell somebody like, yep, this is what's happening, they'd be like, okay. So like,
They love you.
they'd be like, okay, so what do we need to do?
Yeah.
And I did this one self-development program called MITT, and I went in there, I was telling all my shit, like, you know, because you gotta purge it out. You gotta
Let it out.
telling hundreds of people in a room that I'm going through this shit, where I would never do that in a real setting, right? And
Yeah.
everybody is like, yo, that's what you're dealing with, but this is how you still show up.
Wow.
Like they could still see the light in me. They could still see that I was a positive person, that I wanted the best for everybody.
Yeah.
So once I experienced enough of acceptance around me, I began to accept myself. So that's why the sharing is so important, because the things that we think that we're thinking about ourselves, it's almost like I needed someone else to tell me something different.
Right. And you surprise yourself too when you do open up and you do become vulnerable and you do share the stuff that you're going through. You touch people's lives, and then they feel closer to you, and they are closer to you, and then they love you. And there's some people out there that have unconditional love for you, and you're like, I can't believe I didn't really see this or feel this.
Yes.
How did I not know this?
Exactly. I remember I had one friend who, she was like, I want to help you. Like you always help everybody else. You help me. Like, and I was like, oh my God, like, wow. Like I got friends that feel like they not even able to do what I do for them. And then now I'm like, wow, I get to receive that back. So I needed to receive like during that time. And that's what it taught me. Like that's one of the biggest lessons, was to release the judgment, because the judgment, for anybody out there who's dealing with something, if you have judgment about it, the judgment will literally keep you imprisoned to that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as I got a negative thought about what I'm dealing with, I'm going to stay in it longer.
Yeah.
Because there's no love there, right? You can't have judgment and love in the same space. So if I'm judging myself, I'm not loving myself, which means I'm actually creating a disconnect between me and my higher self, me and my God self, by judging it. You're going through the thing to actually release the judgment, to forgive it. I needed to forgive how I was seeing the experience that I was going through, yo.
Oh my gosh, you're dropping gems here.
Once I could do that, and again, that's a daily process, okay? It ain't like, because I would have days where I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with this, I'm okay, and then again, still be in my shit. So even that, but it had to be a constant thing. It's not like forgive myself one day and then still go back to judging, right? No, I gotta forgive myself each time. Each time I still went to go get high, I still gotta forgive myself. Like, this is what you're doing. It's okay. Just don't kill yourself.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. Hopefully I don't kill myself while I'm getting high. That type of thing. I'm praying. I'm making those type of prayers now. Like, please don't die this time.
Wow. You would have had no idea either. And how did you manage to still keep up, the pole dancing and then the pole training, and still continue to almost kind of have like a double life?
It really wasn't. Like, again, the people that are watching from the outside, you're only like, if you look at how I even post online, like I don't post every day, so you don't know what's happening every day. Yeah. You again, and nobody's gonna, like, I wouldn't post my struggle. That's not actually because I'm trying to hide it, but who's posting why would I post the sadness, and then keep posting it every day? Like, I could post a day of me being sad, but to post that every day, you'd be like, girl, what is wrong? You know what I mean? Yeah. But even then, that's being vulnerable, right? Had I done that, maybe somebody would have came and checked on me a little earlier, right? I mean, right. But where was I going with that? What was the question you asked me again? Because I just lost where I was going.
I was saying that you were dropping gems. And
no. How did I maintain like the double lifestyle? So there was a period one year where I was canceling on clients. I would get high and then I needed like 3 days to fucking recover. Like I was not in sorts. So the people on the outside wouldn't see that. But me within my business, like I was getting skinnier, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't eating very good. So like there were signs for me, but signs that other people just would not see unless you stayed in my place with me. Like there was no way anybody would see it. And even when I was just depressed before the drug stuff, just the depression, like you wouldn't know that unless you were in the house with me. Like I was dating someone at the time, my ex-girlfriend, and she said it one day. She was like, I think you're depressed. And I was like, I was like, I can't be depressed. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm fine.
yeah, like I'm fine. And so it you can be going through what you're going through, and it's just not going to be seen. It's nobody's going to know unless they're close, in very, very close proximity to you. But other than that, like, you can go through it, and it's not that, again, that you're trying to hide it. It's just, why would you, who wants to show that? I didn't want to show that to anybody. You know what I mean?
And it's so sad that there's such a stigma, like I was saying earlier. But it's amazing and inspiring how, like you were saying, you were disconnected from your, inner self, and you're disconnected from your true self and your high being. And once you started letting go of the judgment and started being more vulnerable and started sharing, all of these things started unfolding. And it's like these doors just started opening up for you, and money wasn't as funny anymore, and your career started really just kind of skyrocketing, and then you just had more things just kind of flow naturally. It's like the universe is like, okay, here we go, I'm giving you everything now.
Yeah. Right before the pandemic, that's when I was starting to kind of get myself back together. Like, I was okay. I'm like, okay, this is. I feel like it's ending. It's ending. It's okay. Oh, whew, thank you, Jesus. Pandemic year, that was a year where many things stopped.
Yeah.
That was the year where I got my freedom. Like, I started getting back to myself.
Right.
And after, there was one self-development program that I did at the end of 2018, and I remember finishing that program feeling really great. Like, I'm like, things are about to turn around. And again, it was like a process getting through that and sharing all this stuff in a new way, being vulnerable, which is something that was very, very new to me. Like, vulnerability is sexy now to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, let's cry. But I booked. So, like, again, how people see things happening and think life is great. But I booked a Cardi B video, Money, right after coming out of this program. And I was like, oh, that's a sign. Like, guys, like, good job, Nicole. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And that was just that one moment, but it gave me a surge of like, okay, I'm okay. Like, things are still good. Like, I still got it. I can still attract. I can still manifest.
Right.
And that's what's happened this year, even like continuing to do the work, even though you don't have the evidence. Even though I didn't have the evidence of what I know I want, like,
Right.
the money, the feeling successful. Like, a lot of people looking at me like, girl, you're so successful, but I got other ideas of what success are to me now. Or had these judgments where I'm like, there have days where I don't feel successful.
Right.
And I can have money in the bank and still be having clients and still not feel successful when I'm comparing it to where I want to be, which is, that's also shooting yourself in the foot, right? So it's when you can just, it's when I accept exactly where I am and realize that everything is good where I am. And then having friends and people that are saying, wow, Nicole, you are doing amazing. And really taking that in, not brushing it off.
Right.
That helps.
Right.
That helps me. Having people that remind me of who the fuck that I am.
I love that. That's so true. I actually had a conversation recently with one of my dear friends, Barbie, who I think she's tuning in. So hi. But we were talking about just, not putting yourself down and not diminishing yourself and not saying words to yourself like, oh, I just, and this, so I'm just that, or not letting yourself get that full, oh my gosh, I did this accomplishment, I'm proud of myself, I'm gonna really be proud of myself. And that's,
it's necessary,
it's needed.
Like how I can tell people now, I'm like, if your child were doing something wrong and you just kept berating them for the thing that they did, and then even after they did it, you kept berating them, like, no child would, you see the sadness and the heartache on your child, you wouldn't continue to do that to your child unless something's mentally wrong with you, right?
So why
but when we do that to ourselves, we don't realize it because it's quiet. I'm not yelling at myself saying, girl, get your shit together. Like, it's an internal dialogue. So sometimes we don't even realize that we're berating ourselves. But there is no way in hell you're going anywhere upward and positive when you're mentally berating yourself.
I love that.
You're not about to get to the other side when you're being that hard on yourself. So it's like, you really got to check what you're saying, and you'll know what you're saying to yourself based on how you feel.
Yeah.
If your energy is low on a daily, I can tell you there's somewhere in there that you're talking down to yourself. There's some negative thoughts happening more regularly than the positive thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, even though I was going through, I still got to practice the positive affirmation. Even though I was going through I still was doing the positive affirmations, which is, again, it's reprogramming yourself.
I love that. And I love that you said that even though you weren't seeing some of the results yet, you still kept up with it. And you have to have that patience with yourself. You have to have that patience with the universe for it to happen when it's meant to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, is a lot of people don't have the patience and don't have the time and dedication, and they don't catch themselves saying the negative thoughts, or they'll surround themselves around people that doesn't have the same kind of energy and doesn't have the same kind of lifting up.
Yeah, if you don't have the support system, I definitely see how it could take even longer.
Yeah.
And not having the support system, you can have a support system, but if you ain't going and using on them and leaning on them, then you don't have a support system. You know what I mean? So sometimes we create our own disconnect from our support system, and we'll be like, people ain't there, nobody care. Well, who have you told? Have you asked? Have you reached out to anybody? Like,
yes. Yeah, I love that. Ask yourself, have you talked to anyone? Have you asked anyone?
Have you asked for support?
Yes.
And it's always there. It literally is really there around you. Even if you don't know somebody personally, it's out there. And you can tap in online. You got online therapists you can talk to now. Like, you ain't even got to go to somebody's office. You know what I mean? But there's people out there, even people that you don't know, who would love to just talk to you and just love for you to get your shit out. And then, you know what I mean? But you can't stay in your story too strongly either. Like, you can't be like, I'm depressed and everything's going bad to me. Like, you can't tell that story every day.
Yeah. You can't.
Telling the story, you stay in it. You stay in it. If anything, it's like, get it out, and then start talking about where it is that you want to go, where you want to be.
I love that. Yeah. Find your vision and find your path. Don't stay stagnant. Today, I saw something earlier on someone who was complaining that they didn't have any love in their life and they didn't have anyone. And another person pointed out, you have a cat right there. Your cat loves you. That's love right there. You have, a family member that loves you very much. Like, that's love. So you have to really watch what you say and what you think and accept that it's around you.
Yeah, because by saying that you don't have any around that loves you, that means you're not recognizing what actually is around you. And if you keep saying that, you won't even see it.
Yes.
If I say there's no love around me, I won't even see the love that is directly in front of me. Like, it's that type of thing. So even if you feel like there's not love, you would start saying, I feel the love around. Like, one of the things I've been affirming this year a lot is that I am feeling more love, 100 times more than I am accustomed to, 100 more times, 1,000 more times than I'm used to. In this year, I have felt so much love. It's one of the things that I asked when I did my mushroom journey back in December. I was like, I want to feel love at another level. I want to feel more connected to women. And then I went on a tour where I just got to book women to hang out with me on tour.
So amazing.
And receive all this feminine energy around me, which, again, I grew up around all guys. So it is nice and then I get to observe, like, how do women act? Like, I still like that, right? Like, how do women act? How do they be around each other? I want to learn how to do that.
Right? Creating a sisterhood.
Yes.
I love that so much. So yeah, you have a great support system and you have a great group of ladies that you've been working with on tour and with Snoop Dogg. Tell us about that journey.
So let's see, like, what parts of it?
There's so many parts.
A lot of parts. Yeah.
How did you come to connect all the women together?
So I started dancing with Snoop in 2019. And kind of got really cool with management. And anytime there would be shows in California, manager would call me and be like, "Hey, Nicole, are you interested in doing these shows?" And then I would start booking other dancers for the shows that I did. Right. So that was how I got started in the booking of dancers things. Right. And then this year, and so that was 2019 all the way to 2022, where I was only doing the shows California based, or like, I even did like maybe Las Vegas and stuff like that. And then at the end of at the beginning, I think at the end of 22 or at the beginning of 2023, then they asked if I would handle the bookings for the international tour that we did in March. And I was excited just about that. Like, yes, like I get to book all these people in these different countries. Like, I remember when I found out the tour was starting in Australia, the first person I thought of was Dirty Birdie. And she was one of the first people that I used to watch on YouTube where I was learning pole tricks from her. And I was like, I got to book her. And again, I don't even know this person
You're like
besides
full
full circle moment. Like, I love being able to
I love
give back to the people that are giving back to me that even know they gave to me. You know what I mean? So being able to give the gift of the gift that was given to me, like because of watching her videos, like that inspired me to pole dance more. You know what I mean? Like there's still moves that I probably use that I got from her back in 2007. So to be able to hang out with her and gift, like I think I had even booked her for like 2 shows, and then I was booking other people and they ended up all knowing each other. Like, I love that I book people and then friends. I end up booking friends and don't even know that they're friends. So it's like energetically, literally everybody is connected.
I love that.
So, and also what I didn't realize, for me, I was excited to just be booking the dancers, making sure that I got Snoop's vision on stage, right? For what he's looking for, and picking people who knew how to entertain.
Right.
And not just pole dance, but entertain. And you know how to wow a crowd. You know how to really move to the music and get outside of your style, but get into this more, a little more swag. You need a little more swag. You know what I mean? So that was fun and exciting. And then, so I got asked to do that. And I remember people were asking me, so like, are you going on the tour? And I was like, nah. I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, there's no way they're paying for me to go on the tour. Like, that would cost a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, they're not booking me for that. And then literally 2 weeks later, I get a call and they're like, Snoop wants you to come on the tour. And I'm like,
yes.
I didn't even believe it, which is so crazy. I was like, this is like, I was like, so why? Like in my mind, I'm on the phone for this call and I'm just like, but why? Like, what else y'all want me to do? Like, you know what I mean? Which was crazy. It just showed how much I was like, even though I'm used to attracting amazing things, like I was still almost closed off to the idea that was possible for me. That because it was bigger than anything I had received in the context of work in that way. But it was real. It was very much real.
Yeah, you have such a good eye for putting the girls together, and you can see that there's like a sisterhood, a camaraderie between them, and everyone just flows really well together. And of course, you'd be on stage with them. When I think of Snoop, I put you up there.
Exactly. And it was so funny because I was like, okay, I want to ask Snoop, like, why is it that he chose me? Because I was like, there's been so many dancers. I was still like, why me? And then after the first show, he just ended up telling me that, like, I didn't even ask. He was like, you've done so many shows with me. Like, I had to have you. Like, you know how to entertain and, like rock the crowd and all that stuff. And so he's always watching. He sees everything. That's what everybody says. He sees he really does. Like, he pays attention. So he loves that I'm a show woman. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to put on the show. I know how to entertain the crowd and just the energy. I feel like my energy amongst everyone, the team, the crew.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really a big part of what keeps me around and with all the people that I worked with, and people remember me because of that. Like, it's more than the skill set. I'm not the greatest pole dancer in the world. Like, there's fucking amazing pole dancers out there. I can do what I do. I'm great at what I do, but I think it's the, when I talk to people, like I'm doing a workshop this weekend, I'm going to tell people, like, be great at what you do, but your energy be even greater.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I don't even got to work on it. It's just naturally who I am. It's just be a good person.
Good person.
And then also bring energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a ball of energy. So I think that makes a difference too. And I think that is why I was asked to come on the tour. And I know how to handle my business. I'm professional.
Yeah.
And I know how to organize everything. Like, from doing it over the years, I knew how to organize. I knew how to get people ready. I knew how to prep people. I knew how to, show you how to work the stage and kind of give hints and clues and direct a little bit. So I think all that compiled together, it made for an amazing show, because you could have some things mess up, you know what I mean? But I'm really good at keeping it all together and getting the ladies ready. So I did that one. I did it amazingly for that tour. And then they had another tour in July and August, which was the high school reunion tour. They called me back again. I didn't think I was going to do that one. I thought I was just going to book the dancers.
Yeah.
And then got a call again from Snoop and manager and was like, yo, we need you. And I was like, y'all do? What? I was like, I don't know. Cause this was a 2-month tour. I did a 1 month and I was like, 1 month. I was like, that was good. 1 month. I can handle that. But I was like, I don't know if I could do 2 months. And I did it. It actually didn't feel like 2 months.
Right.
And I had a good ass time. And it was, other artists. So we had Wiz Khalifa on the tour, Warren G, Too Short. So Too Short I've known from previous shows. So that was like, it was like being around with my friends even more. You know what I mean? Even more friends to kind of just party. Yeah. Wow. And it's a good work environment. Like if it wasn't a good work environment, I would not do it. But we have a good time. Everybody gets along, all the crew, like it's like a family.
That's so important to surround yourself around stuff you like to do, people you like to be around, good energy, and stuff that you can feed off because energy is so important, and sharing good energy.
Sharing it. And so in booking the ladies, people start, like when I did the first tour in March, people started calling me like the dream maker and like, you know what I mean? Like you're making our dreams come true. They started using hashtag Nicole the dream maker and stuff. And I was like, wow, like I didn't think about that when I was booking people. Like I was just like, I just want to book the dopest dancers to be on stage, but I didn't realize the opportunity that I was providing. I didn't see it that way. Yeah. But now people are like, no, like Snoop's even told me, he was like, at the end of this last tour we just did, he was like, yo, like, he was like, it's dope that you're out here. You're making these women's dreams come true. And I was like, I was making it. It was something he was doing. And then I was just the vessel for making that happen. But I'm like, he was like, nah, like you're doing an amazing ass job. And then all the other dancers acknowledging me and thanking me, like that really meant a lot to me. Because sometimes, I felt that sometimes I can book people and it's like, they don't care. Yeah. Or they look past, and I felt that. So this time, to receive the acknowledgement that I have from every single dancer that I booked, that really, really means a lot to me. And I realized that was important to me, to be acknowledged and to be thanked, and for people to feel gratitude, because it is a gift that I'm giving, but I didn't see it that way. But now I'm realizing like, no, that's a gift. And like, a nice gift back would just be to acknowledge, you know what I mean?
And it's so true, because I've seen on like social media and just seeing in the pole industry how everyone is so excited now to work with you and to be part of Snoop, and how many dreams are coming true, and just seeing all the people in the industry and around the world that are posting, videos from his, tour, and just posting videos and pictures with you. And you have created this whole family.
It's crazy. Like, yes, we got the Snoop Dogg family, yo. Like, you know what? Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
When you say it, see, having somebody say that, it really like makes it more real and brings it to life for me. Because it's like, again, I still be forgetting, but yeah, it really is kind of dope to be like, yo, we've all danced with Snoop Dogg before. You know what I mean? We've all been on that stage at another level. You've been able to see yourself perform and play bigger or learn even more. And I feel like you only need these kind of moments to happen once, right? To then help you believe that it is possible. Like there's been other women who have attracted even more jobs now after I booked them for the Snoop jobs.
Wow.
Because now that it's like you're creating a magnetic energy to attract more.
Yes, I love it. It's like a domino effect.
It really is. When I did the Rihanna video, I booked Bruno Mars, and then it was Neo, and that was all just a ripple effect of me going, yes, I'll take more of that. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm ready. And then the more kept coming to me because I became the vibration of yes to those things.
Yes.
So I think that's what ends up happening.
And I think it's so inspiring too, because a lot of people are so worried about having to do the craziest tricks now in the pole industry and having to do all these crazy flips. And, oh, am I going to stay relevant, being this many years in the industry? And if I'm over a certain age, I'm not able to pole. And it's not true.
I'm 43. I mean, 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. I'm 7. So I'm literally the elder on every show that I do. Okay. These girls that I'm booking are in their 20s. I am the oldest person on stage every night. Okay. Like, again, Snoop is only like 8, 9 years older than I am. Okay, so literally, the age doesn't matter. Also, these new tricks that people are doing, bird of paradise, spatchcock, all these things where you trying to get your legs behind your head, none of that matters to me. When I tell people, I see these audition videos, they're trying to get these hard tricks in, and I'm like, I don't care about that. I really don't. I need you to know how to perform.
Yeah.
When I'm performing, I do none of these crazy tricks and still stand out, right? It's does your moves go to the music? The average audience member has no idea what is a difficult move, what's advanced, what's intermediate, what's beginner. They don't know. It's just does it look good? And sometimes trying to get into these crazy moves don't
look so good.
It doesn't look good when you're trying to get into it, but also it doesn't necessarily stand out as fancy to the regular audience member.
Wow, that's so true. That's such a good point. I love that you say that. So that's a really good tip for people that are wanting to get on stage, whether they're wanting to compete or perform or dance professionally, is you don't always have to do the craziest stuff.
You don't.
Have the audience be welcomed into your dance. Let them feel your emotion. Let them feel the fun that you're having, the good time that you're having, feel the energy, and then just making it flow.
And that's for regular dancers. The simplest thing can wow, like just the air twerk. Okay, just twerking in the air. That's just this. An air walk. Simple move, but it wows the crowd. If you do it on beat, even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just spreading your legs at the right time.
That musicality.
Or doing a simple layback. But if you do it if I do it when a gin and juice is playing, he's like lay back, and I do it there, then it looks cooler. You know what I mean? So it's knowing the timing, it's being able to dance with the words sometime. And really like the first song that Snoop always does is Next Episode. So when I come out on that song, I'm hitting that beat. Dun, 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 dun. And I come out hitting that beat. So I'm doing simple moves, but if it's on the beat, it makes you like, it gets everybody in a vibe. You know what I mean? But if I'm doing my own thing and I'm trying to do a whole advanced,
right?
You offbeat. You're not even on the music, so it's like you think you're doing something fancy, and it's like, yo, it don't even go
in your own world, and then no one can be a part of it.
And that's what I tell all the dancers when you go on stage, perform. Nobody cares about these fancy tricks. It's not a competition. It is a performance. In a competition, yes, there are certain things you need to hit because you're trying to win a competition. There's nothing to win on the stage, okay? Can you vibe with the audience? When Snoop comes over, do you know how to work with him and you guys create a moment? Can you do that? And that's what's important.
I love that you said create a moment.
Epic and iconic moments. That's my affirmation every show. I'm having epic and iconic moments. And that just means being engaged. That just means being engaged, yo. Having a moment where I'm looking at somebody in the audience when the song Beautiful is on, and I'm like, beautiful, I just want, and I'm looking dead in somebody's eyes, making them feel beautiful because I'm singing right to them. People will be like, oh my gosh, she's looking at me.
I love it.
I'm not even the star. Like, I'm a star, but I'm not the superstar on stage. I'm not Snoop, and they're still excited to have that moment. And that means something to me. Like, I really love to be able to have those moments on stage.
Oh my gosh, I bet that's so rewarding. It's not just having your sisterhood and having the performers and having everyone on stage, but feeling the energy from the audience and connecting with so many people that are just having a good time and there for just fun.
Yeah, a lot of people message us dancers and be like, yo, like I came to see Snoop, but I was watching y'all. Like, you know what I mean? So there are some people who we get their attention more than the show. And then other times I tell the dancers, most of the time they looking at Snoop. If you look at everybody's phones, you'll see so many videos online and ain't nobody paying attention to us. But you still got to be doing your thing because if Snoop walks by you, they can see you. And then you may go up on the jumbo screen. And then people it'll stand out more, right? So it's like you always got to be in mode, not be worried about where he is, what he's doing, but be doing your own thing, but still be very much connected to him, the audience, and the music.
Yeah, be present and enjoy it.
Be present, enjoy it. Be having fun.
I love it. Yeah, and you're so good with teaching and instructing and just having that patience and bringing out the best in people, not just as far as like pole dancing and performing, but also wanting them to help achieve their own dreams and learning how to manifest and doing Reiki and coaching. You have a lot of talents.
Yes. I am a coach and healer at heart. I wanted to be a psychologist when I was younger because of my childhood. I was like, I want to help parents be better parents. And I was like, I want to help kids to be able to deal with the crazy parents and, help people be better to each other, right? That was the thing that was set in stone at a very early age. And I thought I had to be a psychologist to then help people. Then I go to school for that. I go to junior college and then I realized you got to go to school for 10 years. And I was like, nah, that don't make sense to me. So I went to junior college for 2 years or a year and a half. And then I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. So I have no college degree. I am a high school graduate, no college degree, and I'm still out here doing it. I created my own lane. I never worked. I had one 9 to 5, but I never worked the 9 to 5 box. I became an entrepreneur at the age of 20.
Wow.
And I am 4'3" now. So for 23 years, I have been working for myself. I've been my own boss, and that's all that I know. That's all that I know. So the fact that I've made it this long,
it's amazing.
Working for myself is crazy. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't tell you how. I can just know that I when they say follow your passion, everything will come back. That is so true.
Yeah.
You can still have low times. Like, again, you can still have slow times, but doing what I love every freaking day, the people come, the business comes, and I'm not even trying to push in business like that, and it just comes my way. A phone call can happen in a second. Like, I can get off this podcast with you and have a phone call for an opportunity that I was not asking for, looking for. But because my vibration is, this is what I do, this is who I am, and I want to do it the best, and I want amazing people, I'm going to attract all the people who align with the frequency of what it is that I have to offer. And that's really how you attract your customers, your clients, the people that want what you have. You got to just be emanating that always, and it's going to come to you.
I love that. Yeah, just being in that high vibration and accepting that high vibration and really following your dreams, following your passion.
Yeah, and that's all that I do. I only say yes to things I want to do. I see a lot of people saying yes to things to just make the money, and I get that you feel you have to do that. But if you only hold on to that, then you will never have the opportunity to do what you say you want to do, because you're doing what you think you have to do.
Oh my gosh.
So you got to create space for what you want to do too. Like during the pandemic, I thought I might have to get a job, and I was scared. I was like, what would I do? Like,
right? A job.
I was like, I'm gonna have to still work for myself. So like, do Uber maybe, and like the cart, Instacart. I was like, I'm gonna have to do maybe one of those things, right? And in my mind, I was picturing. I was like, if I did those things, I would get the most amazing tips because of my energy. Like, I'd be talking to people.
Right.
I was already visualizing how excellent I was going to do these other jobs. And I ended up not having to. I made it through that fucking pandemic. Like, the pandemic was actually, I made money during that year. It was a good year.
Right.
But it's about staying positive. And thank goodness I worked for myself, because had I not worked for myself, I believe that would have actually been harder, right? People who had regular jobs and had to stop jobs.
Yeah.
And then that's really no money coming. Where I have my own business, I get to work from home.
Right.
And I was still able to take on clients and stuff. Whereas if I worked somewhere else, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's so true though. It's been so much fun. Oh my gosh. I could talk to you all night. There's just so many gems that you've been dropping and giving, and just, it's so exciting seeing the journey and seeing everything unfold, and you're just aging just gracefully and getting younger every time I see you. You're glowing. You are vibrating so high.
Yes, that has a lot to do with it. It's just your energy, and I really do. But I take care of myself. I started out as a personal trainer, for those that don't know, when I was 19, 20.
Wow.
So keeping fit, exercising in some type of way. I chose pole dance, which is that's fitness. So even if I don't work out in the gym, which is that's how I came up in fitness, being a gym person. Like, I started working out in high school and then became a trainer. So I was a gym rat up until 27. Wow. 19 to 27, because I was a trainer then. I owned a gym. I owned 2 gyms.
Amazing.
And then I opened my fitness studio, and then I was still doing personal training and pole. And then eventually I was like, I really don't have to personal train because my upper body still looks good from doing pole.
Yep.
So because I'm a pole dance teacher, that has literally kept me moving my body and exercising and keeping me strong. So when you're exercising, you're automatically going to be more youthful,
Yes.
vibrant, more mobile kind of person. So really the only thing I got to do is train lower body.
Moving is
And
healthy.
now do yoga, which I've always been resistant to yoga. Now I'm like, yes, yoga. I want to stretch my body. Like I get it now.
Yeah.
I get that it is restorative. And if you only training your muscles all the time, you're gonna be tight as shit. Like I wake up now and I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, that's so true. In the 40s, when I was in my 40s, same thing. That's when I started really going into Pilates and yoga and really wanting to do restorative work also, which is important. You need to
It's
have
so
that
important.
self-love, self-meditation, stretching, relaxing, not just strengthening the muscles, but also,
Yes.
nurturing them.
Nurturing them. Y'all, if you're in your 20s and 30s now, you need to start your practice because it's going to be harder to start later something that you ain't been doing. So if you've been like, let's say you 30, but you ain't never exercised, it's going to be harder to start exercising.
Yeah.
But if you keep up some form of exercise during your 20s, and it don't mean you got to be gung ho 100% hardcore. No, just have a practice, meditation practice, a fitness practice, a eating healthy practice. Like I've always had a give 80%, leave 20% room for fun kind of thing. Like that's how I am around my diet. I say I eat 80%
Okay.
healthy. I'm 80% vegetarian. I'm a still maybe eat a lemon pepper chicken wing. I'm a still eat a pepperoni pizza every once in a while. And
Right.
those are the only times that I eat those things every once in a while. There's not a part of my regular healthy practice diet.
Right.
This week is all vegetarian week for me.
Okay.
I'm doing the buffo toad on Friday.
Okay. Nice.
Doing the toast. So you're supposed to eat healthy and have your body nice and clean.
Right.
But I think part of my youthfulness is again, I wrote an affirmation when I was 26 that I am forever youthful, agile, and mobile. So that I don't call myself old. If someone asks me how old I am, I say, "Did you mean to say how young am I?" And then I answer the question. They'll say, "Oh, well, how young are you?" And then I tell my age.
I love that. Yeah.
And
Changing those
then
words.
and then I do things that are very youthful. Like I play games. I do young shit. You know what I mean? The things that I did as a kid, I still enjoy those things because I'm still a kid. I'm
Yes.
still
I
a
love
kid.
that. Yeah. We should still be kids. We should always stay young at heart. Why do we have to act a certain age?
If you
Exactly.
start acting a certain age, you will be that. So I'm not trying to be 20. I'm not trying to be 30. I'm 43, happy. But I'm also, that's just a number. Time ain't real. Like Prince said, I don't celebrate my birthdays because then you would be the thing, right? So for me, I'm 7. Okay.
I love
I'm
that.
7 now. My body feels
Young.
a little older but younger, you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
doing things about that versus complaining versus talking about I am doing. It's like if you notice something, do something about it.
Yes. Be
Start talking
proactive.
about it and
Something
do something about it. Okay. Be in action versus complaining and in judgment and all of that shit. Because we know where judgment gets you. So if you're judging your body, oh, I don't like the way I look, or I got fat, I got cellulite. I'm like, if you keep talking about it like that with that negative energy, it's going to stay and you're actually going to feed it. So now it's going to get bigger. You're going to get more cellulite. You're going to feel uglier, like all those things because you judge it.
Yeah. And your
Even if you
cells
could,
absorb and
they
feel.
absorb that energy and you
Yes.
literally feed it. So you grow, it grows and expands. The thing that you say you don't like, you're expanding it because you're giving that negative energy to it. So just think about what you can do and then don't think you have to go so hard the opposite direction. So it's like if you want to lose weight, don't think you got to fully cut out everything. Just start cutting back on the things that you know don't work for you, right? Like for me, I wanted to start eating healthier. So I just every year it was like I would take something out that I was like, I don't need this anymore, or I would find a healthy replacement.
I love that idea.
Like Doritos, that was my stuff. I started eating popcorn instead.
Yeah.
And I was still getting the crunchy salty thing. That was all I really wanted, was the crunchy salty. Now I keep reading more stuff about this yellow 5 and 6 and red, and I'm like, that's in the Doritos.
Yeah.
Doritos, I might have to say peace out to you, homie.
You're gonna have to go. Yeah.
Instead of eating licorice and
Going in.
Sour Patch, now I eat the gummy bears from Erewhon, or I'll do the Giggles Skittles instead of regular Skittles, like, or dried pineapple is my new favorite sweet something.
Yeah.
There's so many healthy alternatives. You just got to be willing to let go what you got programmed to eat when you were younger, because the shit we got programmed to eat when we was younger is not good for us.
Yeah.
And that's some real shit. Like, if I know so many people that's like, nah, I'm gonna eat it. Do you know you were programmed to eat that? That shit is not good for you. Just because they sell it in the store, there are companies, okay? Most of the companies on the shelves do not give a fuck about our health level, okay? They just want to make their money.
That's so true.
So, and if it comes from a shelf, it's most likely not healthy. Like the real foods are the things on the outside corners of the grocery store. That's a real thing. The fruits, the vegetables, the meat. You know, if you eat meat, that's the healthy food. Everything else in the middle is kind of like a shit show. It's all.
It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend who was in Europe, and she was talking about, in Paris especially, the grocery stores are completely different. They don't have like outside, inside aisles. It's like all just like the outside aisles of what it is in the States.
Oh yeah. When I go out the country, when I go in stores, it's funny because I'm trying to look for the snacks, and they're like, they're not here. And then I see how much stuff from the States is also not out there, because the mother countries, they like, we know this shit ain't good. Like, we're not poisoning our people.
Right.
The US is like poison away. Poison away.
Speaking of going out of the States, you're getting ready to go out of town. I'm so excited for you. Where are you
I'm going to Bali. I have a retreat. So I'm hosting my first retreat. And it's just I'm calling it the Adventure Manifest and Heal Retreat. So I have 9 people coming, a few friends of mine, plus people that follow me from Instagram. Wow. I actually started promoting this trip when I was on tour in March. And I want to share this because in my mind, when I first did this retreat, I was like, oh, I'm going to sell out. I'm going to have 24 people and all this stuff. And then I was like, is anybody going to sign up? Who's going to sign up? You know what I mean? I was afraid to promote because worried about me not getting the result that I wanted. And then that ended up being, I didn't sell out my trip because I didn't promote it on a regular basis.
You almost sabotage yourself.
Yeah, it's like a little form of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So it was something that I realized, which when I go on this trip, I will have been in the trip. I'm flying business class on all my flights. So now it's like I'm going to have the experience of doing the thing and seeing the people and how much they benefited from that. When I go to promote my second trip, I have a whole new energy, right?
Yeah.
So, you can feel successful in one way, but then still doubt yourself in other ways, because that was something new that I was doing. I know my following, I know my support, but I was still not welcoming in that love and that
full acceptance.
Yeah, full acceptance that people do want to roll with me. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things it's a block to love. It's a block to my worthiness and all that stuff. So that's one of the things that I've been working on a lot. Even like I'm hosting a workshop this weekend, and to see all these people signing up, like it feels so good to know that, wow, people really do want to receive what it is that I have to offer, and I really want to give this information out. This trip was really about that too. So I'm doing Bali from the 14th to the 20th, and then me and another girlfriend, we're gonna go to Thailand after. So I'm doing Bali and Thailand, which are 2 of the trips that I've been wanting to go on for years. They've been on my vision list and my vision board, and it's finally happening. And people out there, I've had this on my vision board for years, okay? At least 5-6 years, Bali, Thailand.
Wow.
It's just now happening. So when you have your goals, don't ever think like just because it ain't happening fast that it's not going to happen. And another thing is sometimes we're not choosing it for ourselves. True. I wanted to go to Bali and Thailand, but I wanted to go with somebody at first. So I'm holding out on me experiencing Bali and Thailand because I'm like, I want to go with someone, a person. Well, there ain't no person there. Okay, I'm single right now. So if I keep waiting for a person, I'm going to end up missing out on all the places. So it was like, nah, go with some people, right? So now I'm going. I also didn't want to play business class. I wanted somebody else to pay for that for me, or somebody to give me some miles. And then finally I was like, Get it yourself. You got the money for it, buy it. And when I did that, when I tell you, I felt so good. And then it hit me. I got to choose it for me first to experience more of it.
Yeah.
I got to choose it. Now I be waiting on somebody else to do it. Like, that's great. But by choosing it, I'm actually going to then
Make it happen.
it's gonna attract more money to me, more resources so that I can continue to do that. Yeah. But if I'm always sitting in economy, then I'm gonna keep living an economy life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm about to start living a business class life, a first class life. Okay, this is what I'm choosing now because I say so. Okay,
I love it. So, yes,
like splurge on yourself so that you're telling the universe, you know what? Bring me some more money and resources so I continue to do this. That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna be up in that business class, laid back like this. More of this. More of this. Yes. I got so much money. I got so much money. I fly business class all the time. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go.
I love it. It's happening, and you guys heard it here.
It's happening, yo. You got to choose it for yourself first.
Yeah. I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh. Is there anything else that you wanted to tell the viewers before we go? It has been such a pleasure.
I am doing a virtual workshop this Sunday, October 8th from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's called How to Go from Student to Performer and Manifest Dream Opportunities. So I was, when I came up with that is because of the business that I am, but this can work for any creative, any type of artist, any type of dancer. You can apply what I'm saying to you. And then when I start talking about the manifesting part, the manifesting dream opportunities, that's for any and everybody. That's not a pole dance thing. That's for any and everybody. I'm sharing my secrets. I'm sharing the things that I've been doing I started my spiritual work in 2006. So for the last 17 years, oh my God. 17 years, I got some tools and practices that I've learned, and I'm sharing all that stuff. And my purpose is centered around sharing what it is that I learned and giving it back out to people who wouldn't necessarily have come across that information. That's what I'm here to do. So I'm going to be sharing all those things, and whatever lands for you, you get to use it. Whatever doesn't, let it fall to the side, and maybe you'll use it later in life. But I'm sharing all the things and how I bring forth this amazing life that I bring to myself. I'm sharing the stuff that I go through as far as the downs, and I'm sharing what you got to do to be a great performer. How can you start getting on these stages and attracting amazing clients? Because it's not even about getting on the stages. The regular clients that I book for regular jobs, where I was going to say they're not celebrity things, but like being booked to perform for somebody's New Year's Eve party, right, and being flown out. Okay. Those are things that are bigger, like pay more. The regular people, those jobs pay more than these jobs that people are chasing after, trying to work with someone in the industry. So I'm going to talk about that. How don't be so focused on, I want to work with this big artist. That big artist may barely pay anything. There's a client out, there's another regular person that pay way more, and that sees the superstar.
Sees the word.
Man, I didn't have people that see me bigger than I see myself. I'm like, you want to fly me where?
Right.
And somebody else, and put me up in a hotel,
right,
and get like what? That's come from other people outside of the entertainment industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's and I'm teaching about how many opportunities that you can create for yourself versus waiting on someone else. But you can sign up for that. The link is in my bio on my Instagram page, Nicole the Pole. So sign up for How to Go from Student to Performer and Manifest Dream Opportunities. What else? I also do Reiki and sound bowl healing. So if you're interested in that in person or virtually, you can do sound healing and Reiki from a distance. Like, I don't have to be where you are. We can do it on Zoom just like this. If you're interested in booking me for that, I'm available to do that. Parties, pole parties, all the things. I want to get more into the spiritual realms of my practices. So I want to be doing more healing stuff. I'm also doing the Akashic Records too. And then I have to go talk to God this Friday with the Bufo. So when I come back, y'all, I'm gonna be a new person. So this is version 4.3.
I love it.
Probably gonna be version 9.511 when I come back. Be ready. Be ready.
Be ready. Lisa said, "You're very inspiring. Love your energy and positivity."
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
It's so sweet. I love it. It has been such a pleasure, and we will definitely chit chat again when you come back and when we find out more news and more exciting stuff and hear about more adventures.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, especially coming back as your first.
I know. I'm so excited
Thank
to be
you.
back and to hit it with the bang, my Virgo soul sister.
Hey, I love how we've connected and still have kept in touch. We get to have these amazing phone calls for the people that don't know. We've known each other for some years, but when we talk, we catch up and I share all the things.
I know. I love it so much. And I love seeing just how you've grown into yourself more and just seeing you really happy and you're really glowing and you are just, you're skyrocketing. And I love that so much for you.
It's a skyrocket season, baby.
Woo!
For everyone.
Yes.
You know what? I'm sending that out now that anybody who is watching this video, you are having a skyrocket season. Okay, you are letting go of all the heavy things that are around you. You're letting go of that shit. Like you're no longer interested in it. If you have a vice or an addiction right now, you accept it, you love it, it's okay, you're grateful for it, and you know that it's going to help somebody else when you move through it. You're moving through it right now. You're moving through it right now. You're saying, you know what? I don't need this no more. I see another way. And then you're being blessed exponentially because of you're letting it go. So now you got space and room and opportunity for new things to come in. That's what I'm sending out to everybody.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I can feel
abundance is all around you. Magic and miracles is flowing to you every day because you say so. So all you got to do is say, I want to receive that, which Nicole sent to me. I want to receive that today. I'm receiving that and I'm being in it. And it's my experience. Boom.
Woo!
Boom.
I love it. Oh my God. I got chills. It is going to be a fabulous year. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been such a pleasure. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And so we can have more amazing conversations. And thank you so much again for connecting. And I can't wait till our next talk. And thank you for sending the good energy.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you. Lots of love and light. Take care.